Now the basics are out of the way, let's go over making a little more complex buttons here. So first, I'm going to move my shelf over to the side. And then I'm going to click on our little button down in the bottom right hand corner from Maya. This is our script editor. You can also get to this by going into General Editor and Script Editor, but I always click on this button. There we go. Now here's our script editor. Now, I'm not going to spend a long time going to script editor because we have other podcasts to do that, but the main things we're going to cover is we're going to erase stuff in our history, which is up here. This is what Maya has done in the past. So I clear my history. This next one clears everything in the input area, which is down here. This is where we're going to type information. And then the more important thing is we're going to have our double play and play button. Double play plays everything that we type in our input area, where the single play will only play things that are selected. Okay. Last one note on the script editor. We have two tabs, Mel and Python. For the beginning podcast we're going to be doing on this, we're going to go into Mel, and later on when we learn Python scripting, we're going to shift over to the Python tab. But right now, everything that's going to pop up here is going to be in Mel. So this is where we're going to test that. Okay, so we have our history button, or delete history. We go into command and we have our code here. If I click this and I can just middle and drag it out, I have a middle mouse held down, I can drag it over to my Mel area. You see it turns blue because this is a command. Okay, I'm going to hide that, move our element over. So if I have history on this, and I do, let's go and highlight this line and hit play. There, our history's gone. So this is our delete history button. So you can highlight and go, this is actually just a command of what's deleting history, and that's what's behind it. Now you know it's interesting, in the history, it placed down that, hey, I ran this. But you notice at the end, here's a little semicolon. This means this is a line terminator, and this is the end of that line. So let's say I wanted to run another command after this, which was freeze transforms. Well, we have a freeze transforms button right here. So I go into command, and here's our freeze transformation. We can middle mouse click that one down too. So we have our on the second line, I guess middle mouse down. There we go. And we have freeze transformation. So I'm going to put a semicolon at the end of that too. So does that mean that I can run both these lines by highlighting and hitting play? Yes. So let me undo what I did before on that sphere. So I have my history and I have transforms. So I highlight both of them and hit play, and boom, it did both the steps. Finally, what if I want a center pivot? And we have that one too. That's under the next one, center pivot. So we go to command, we have our center pivot, and I want to make sure I have another line. So I come down another line, middle mouse it. There we go, and put a semicolon there. So if I highlight all three of these and hit play, it will run all three buttons. So that's where I'm trying to get here, is that what if I want to make a complex button, one that does 3 steps in one shot? Can I do that? Yes. I could put them right underneath here, under this button, but let's make a new one. Just like we had before, we had our 3, move up, move down, new, and delete. I'm going to say new, and I'm going to call this nuke. And this is going to nuke and pretty much do all 3 of them in one shot. So we go over to command, and instead I'm going to get rid of this print user defined macro, and I am going to highlight, hit Command C for copy. You can also right click and do copy, but it's pretty slow to do it that way. And then I hit Command V or paste. So now we have all 3. It will run through all 3 of these. It is very important that each one of these lines individually does have a semicolon at the end of it. Otherwise it will not work. You didn't need that before because you only had one command, so it didn't need a semicolon at the end of it. So we have our nuke. Is it working? Let's find out. So I'm going to minimize, close, undo. Oops, undo too much. Scale it back up. I move my pivot point over and I hit my little nuke button. Kablam! It did all 3 of them. Fantastic. I want to add the text underneath this. So I can just open it like I did before. And I can say, oh, it says user script. I don't want that. I'm going to say, pretty much nuke nuke. I'll say tooltip, we'll say delete history, freeze transforms, center pivot. Okay, that working? I probably have to close this down to actually see that. Yes. So there's one way of actually customizing tools.